There you have it, folks. There it is. The Toronto Raptors have officially clinched the first seed in the Eastern Conference for the first time in franchise history. They get 57 wins, a franchise record, and get another franchise record, 33 home wins on the year. And what a season it has been. Now, it's not over yet. But holy smokes, and I got to give a ton of credit to these guys for putting in the work left and right. And today, they come out and play one of the best defensive games we've seen this year. Last game against Boston did miss quite a few wide open looks, but the Raptors did play very hard defense as well. Today, the defense, the interior defense was terrific by the Raptors. They beat the Indiana Pacers 92-73. So the offense in the second game in a row, you don't crack 100, but the defense is just unbelievable. You know, first quarter, Raptors got off to a red-hot start. They're up 17 at one point. And Indiana slowly starts to crawl back, as we've kind of seen this a few times with the Indiana Pacers. We get out to a huge lead, and they come back and get it close. Well, Raptors still up 12 at the end of the first quarter. Both teams shoot the rock poorly in the second quarter, 19-19 apiece. We're still up 12 at the half. You want to have that good third quarter to kind of set yourself up for a good finish. And the Raptors, 27-16 in that third quarter, and you are just on a roll. Plus 23 at the end of 3. And they lose the fourth quarter by 4, but whatever, who cares? The Raptors do come away with the victory. Now, was this game 100% pretty? No. They had too many turnovers. Way too many. 19 turnovers for the Toronto Raptors, but it's the defense that really got it done today, and it's the points off of turnovers that didn't hurt them. Yes, they had 19 turnovers, but the Indiana Pacers didn't really, make the Raptors pay for their mistakes. Now, the Raptors as a team shot only 43%, only 30% from 3, got 11 of 16 from the free throw line, 69%, not the greatest. On the glass, you out-rebounded them by 8. The offensive glass, they were plus 3, but the assist numbers, Raptors with 27 assists in the game. The blocks and steals categories were basically identical, except the Raptors had one more steal than the Indiana Pacers. But just the interior defense, the way OG guarded Oladipo, he was terrific. OG only played 20 minutes, 4 points, 4 boards on 2 of 5 shooting, but he was a plus 23 while he was on the floor. That tells you how much of an amazing job he did against Victor Oladipo, who ended with only 5 points, 2 of 9 shooting, and a minus 23 on the floor. What a great job by OG defensively in this one. And we talk about Serge Ibaka all year long and how his struggles offensively. He had one stretch where he was playing just ridiculously good basketball, and then he hit a brick wall. Well, what we've seen over the last few games is his shot starting to fall a little bit more, and at the right time, too. Today, he was on fire. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 10 of 13 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3, and a plus 25 while he was on the floor. JV also 8 points, but 12 big rebounds in this one, 3 of 7 shooting, plus 16 while he was on the floor. DeRozan, Lowry, plus 32 and plus 25, and yes, Lowry only had 9 points. Yes, DeRozan only had 12, but they combined for 17 of the 27 assists. It tells you, if this team can have that other guy, the Serge Ibaka, why were their assist totals so high in the game? Because Serge was knocking down his shots. We've seen over the last little while, Serge really wasn't knocking down his shots. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan were getting doubled, and it was just a mess. But now that you have Serge knocking down his shots as of late, and seeing him play today was terrific. if you can have Serge Ibaka shooting them, maybe not like that, because that's nuts, but giving you 15 to 20 points a game, 8 to 10 rebounds a game, shoot a good percentage and play hard defense, hey, I'll take that any day of the week for Serge, because his teammates have confidence in him. Nobody off the bench were really in double figures except for Jakob Poeltl, who was 10-5 in 18 minutes, 5 of 5 shooting. And CJ Miles, again, his woes from three-point range continue, 0 of 3. But, he was 4 of 5 from the free throw line, and he did get a bucket late and an and one. So, I mean, if you're trying to find positives, it's that he did get a couple points late. But again, the three-point shot is still not falling for CJ Miles. Again, he has 3 more games to kind of find a way to clean that up. And again, the playoffs are a different beast. He could all of a sudden catch fire in the playoffs, and what the heck happened to this CJ Miles? We don't care. We look behind that. You never know. But you want to see him start shooting the ball well heading into the postseason. The bench kind of had a tough night. All players were minuses except for Jakob Poeltl, who was a +3, and Norman Powell, who was a +3 in this game. But the way this team played defense, the starting unit especially, the double teams, the help defense, when a guy was driving it and Lowry gets caught in the screen, JV's right there to contest the shot, it makes everything difficult. And I'm just so proud of this team. Having now a franchise record 57 wins, clinching the first seed in the Eastern Conference, winning your 33rd game at home, which is a franchise record, of course. And I'm proud of these guys. The way this season has gone, the iffy start, then you had a few big streaks, and then obviously, before the last 2 games, we had a real big scuffle for 5 to 10 games. Like you go back to the Oklahoma City game at home, where Russell Westbrook was calling his own fouls. We go back to that game, and they really weren't playing well afterwards. But then we saw a couple really good defensive games by the Toronto Raptors in the last couple games, and that's very promising moving forward. Now, would you like to see them knock down some more shots? Absolutely. But if you can play that hard defensively, you're going to win a lot of games. Cleveland? Maybe not so much against Cleveland. You got to be able to shoot the rock against that team. No matter how good your defense is, you got to shoot the rock against them. And that's what the Raptors didn't do in the last game against Cleveland. They didn't shoot the ball well enough. Plain and simple. But I'm proud of this team. They have 3 more games. They've clinched the East. Don't be surprised if you see DeMar and Kyle sit a game or two. Well, I assume they won't sit 2. But you might see DeMar or Kyle sit 1 game. Kyle might sit the next one. DeMar might sit the next one. You might see JV or Serge get a day off. You might see that. But in my eyes, you want all your main guys. DeRozan, Lowry, JV, Serge. You can throw OG into the mix. You want them all playing in that final day on Wednesday against Miami, because you do not want to go into the playoffs having not played in a game for a little while, right? Because the Raptors don't play. They play the Monday, Monday the 9th, and if whoever doesn't play on the 11th, well, the playoffs don't start till the 14th. Almost a full week off, depending on when the Raptors do play. It might not be the 14th, but that's a long time. So I'm saying DeMar or Kyle are probably going to sit the next game against Orlando. Either of them are probably going to sit against Detroit. And then I think they should both play against Miami to kind of get them in there, let them feel game action one last time before the playoffs. That's my opinion. I don't know how you guys see it. Do you want them to sit the last game of the year to take that last bit of rest before you punch their ticket right into the playoffs in round 1? It's going to be one heck of a playoffs. We only have 3 games left for them, 1 game left for the Leafs. I'm doing one of these because, holy smokes, we're ready to go. I'm nervous because the playoffs are always a stressful time, but I'm excited, and I know you guys are too. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed this game, and you guys have enjoyed Raptors basketball this season. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. And the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of today's game. How have you thought the Raptors have looked over the last couple games on both sides of the ball? Obviously, turnovers is something that really has to get cleaned up heading into the postseason. But that's okay. I'm totally confident in this team that they can clean that up. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Everything about this season, everything about the 57 wins, the records, all that stuff. and and also what you guys have thought of this year so far. I know we're almost done, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about all that, and we'll talk to you guys Monday podcast edition. Won't be able to do the podcast on Tuesday, so Monday it'll be uploaded to you guys Monday afternoon. Leafs, Raptors, Jays, all around the league. You guys know about that stuff, and the link is in the description for the podcast channel and the podcast itself on iTunes. And Twitter's down there, guys. Also, if you guys are interested, like I've continued to say it, but I will say it until the playoffs begin. Send me a direct message on Twitter. The link is in the description. If you guys are interested in heading out to Jurassic Park or Maple Leaf Square for the Leafs and Raptors playoffs, I really want to hear from you guys. We're getting that close to the end of the season. I want to be able to communicate with you guys and kind of get set here heading into the playoffs, all right? So we'll talk to you guys Monday podcast edition. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, Leafs edition, as they're taking on the Montreal Canadiens at the Air Canada Centre in the last game of the regular season. Here we go. You want to win that and head into the playoffs with a W against your rival team. That would be scrumptious. We'll talk to you guys Jays edition a little bit later on tonight. They were obviously in a rain delay earlier. They're taking it. They are taking, oh my goodness, it's 6-0 now. They're taking it to the Texas Rangers in Texas. There's no fight in them anymore. I mean, obviously with Bautista gone, literally there's no fight anymore. We'll talk to you guys post-game then. We'll talk to you guys Raptors edition like we've said. Actually, I really didn't say it. We'll talk to you guys Sunday night as the Raptors take on the Orlando Magic in the last home game of the regular season. 6 p.m. tip-off. We'll talk to you guys then.